Welcome back to the S&T Football Podcast. I'm your man, Say. I'm here with my man, Tom. And we're here talking about an NFL matchup this coming Sunday. We have the Chicago Bears, 7-3 on the season. Can you believe it? I can't. I don't think Tom can either. But yes, the Chicago Bears are 7-3 coming into this game, hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are now a 6-4. So the Steelers have kind of been on the fall since they started off the season very well. They've kind of lost a few games of recent. Aaron Rodgers is dealing with some injuries, hurt his wrist in the last game, I believe. So, the Steelers are kind of trying to figure it out on that side. But the Bears are surging right now. I can't believe it. Caleb Williams is playing his best football he's played in his career. Ben Johnson coming over from Detroit has Chicago in the best spirits they've had in recent memory. I mean, ever since what? When's the last time the Bears were good, Tom? Jay Cutler?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Jay Cutler, Devin Hester.
Oh my,
Yeah,
Mr. Trubisky. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot they won 12 games that year and then they lost when they double doink. Yeah, I forgot. Well,
yeah.
since then,
I mean, yeah,
Bears haven't even been relevant. So shout out to Chicago. City's doing good over there. So let me swing it over to my man Tom. Tom, let me know what you think about this exciting NFL matchup.
yeah. I mean, as a Vikings fan, again, like you said, I think I'm just as surprised as anybody, especially seeing the Bears last year. But I guess, that's what happens when you get a good coach finally. He's making things a little more simple for Caleb Williams, I think, and that's always good for a younger quarterback. So Bears playing well, playing clean. Barely beat my Vikings last week. I thought we had them. I thought number 9 was going to pull through, but Caleb Williams, has the more experience, and he's the better quarterback. So, but I'm kind of happy for Caleb Williams. He got a lot of shit coming out of college and going to the Bears and having pain and nails. And then he had a rough first season which most rookie quarterbacks do, but his was especially brutal because of all the online hate and stuff. So kind of felt bad for him a little bit because I don't think nobody deserves that much hate for basically no reason. He's just doing his job, and he happens to paint his nails, which I don't paint my nails, and I don't think you need to paint your nails. Kind of silly, but good for him. Glad he does that, I guess. So, Steelers, on the other hand, like you mentioned, A-Rod hurt his non-throwing hand. He hurt his left wrist. So, not sure if he's gonna play. I mean, I think I think A-Rod himself said he thought he broke it, but I don't think that's confirmed yet. I might be late on that news. Maybe it is confirmed by now or something, but. So he might still play. He might not. I honestly don't know. And it is Perk Rogers, so he might get a little zooted up before the game by the staff on the Steelers training staff. Go out there and have a Perk Rogers game. But gonna be interesting to see A-Rod versus the Bears again. I mean, honestly, just as much as I hate to say it, love to see the Bears on top. If the Vikings are going to be the worst team in the NFC North, I don't mind seeing the Bears at the top because that just means everything is flipped on its head. So good for the Bears. I think the Bears might come away with this one. Again, I'm not sure the severity of Aaron Rodgers' injury or if he plans to play or what that would even look like if he does play. So I'll swing it back to you and let you bring us home.
Well, love everything you said about this matchup there, Tom. Perk Rogers is crazy. Perk
Hey,
Rogers.
I didn't make that up. I didn't make that up.
No, I've seen that on trending on social media before, so that's pretty funny. We're not making any allegations here on the S&T podcast. I'll just let that be known for anyone watching. Perk Rogers. So yes, let me start on that side, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. So he's having a really good year for a 40-year-old quarterback. I mean, after seeing the last three seasons, with the Jets and then his last season with the Packers, he was not looking like his old self. And honestly, I didn't think he had anything left in the tank after New York. I thought after New York, when the Steelers got him. I was like, I don't know, you kind of getting crumbs at this point. Like I don't I don't think there's much left in that cake, that Aaron Rodgers used to be. Well, apparently he has something left. Just give him a decent O line, and some couple weapons and a good defense, and 40-year-old can go out there and still sling it. So shout out to Mr. Rodgers. He had the Steelers in first place at one point. Well, they lost a few games recently, and all of a sudden Lamar Jackson is back for the Baltimore Ravens. So all of a sudden the Ravens are winning games again. So even though the AFC North is just a disaster this season, they went from being the best conference or team in the best division in NFL to being like the worst overnight. I don't know what happened because the Steelers were looking like they were going to carry it, and now they're back to like basically 500. So I don't know what's going on in that division. It's just terrible. It's horrible. But on the other side, the NFC North is still remaining to be one of the best conferences in football. All of a sudden, the Bears are good. This is the season that I thought the Bears were going to have last year when I picked them to make the playoffs, and they disappointed me again. I was like, oh, same old Bears. Well, all of a sudden, they get a good coach, Ben Johnson, coming over from Detroit, and Caleb Williams looks like he can play football again all of a sudden. You talked about his painted nails. Well, apparently he's still painting them, but he remembers how to play football again. So Chicago, wow. You love to see it for teams that don't have success very often. Cleveland, Detroit, Oakland, well, Las Vegas now, and including the Bears, Chicago. And Chicago I think they've had the worst time finding a starting quarterback than any team in NFL history. I mean, other than maybe Cleveland, Chicago, I mean, what the stat still remains, they've never had a 4,000-yard passer or whatever the stat is in their history. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. And we finally thought they finally got the prodigy in Caleb Williams coming out of USC, but the first couple seasons it looked like it was just going to be the same old story. Mitch Trubisky. Before that, Jay Cutler, Rex Grossman, just going back in the years. But good to see the Bears finally winning games. Can they maintain this? I'm not going to hop on the hype train just yet. I want to see them make the playoffs and actually show us that they are here and they're for real now. But liking what I see so far. The offense looks good. The defense is playing well, and they're looking like a team, a complete team for the first time in years. Like we said earlier, the last time I think the Bears were good was the year that Mitch Trubisky took them to the playoffs. They went like 12-4 that year, and then they immediately lost to the Eagles. I think that was like what 20. I don't want to say something crazy. Was that 20?
Mm, what year would that have been?
2018, 29? I think I was like just graduated at 20,
Yeah, that
2019.
might have been in high school. So I might have been like, yeah, 2016, 17,
Well, either way,
maybe.
it's been a few years. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, it's been a while.
we haven't talked about the Bears seriously in a few seasons. So it's good to see them finally trending and finally doing well. And I wish them the best down there in Chicago. So in this matchup right here, the Bears are at home field advantage. They've looked better as of recent. Like I said, the Steelers are kind of starting to come back down to earth after having a good start. So Aaron Rodgers is dealing with some nooks and crannies, the old man. So go ahead and give me the Bears. I think the Bears will keep on winning. Will they win the the NFC North? That is a big question. Can they maintain and win an NFC North? Because the NFC North, unlike the AFC North, is still very competitive. The Packers are still right there. The Lions are still right there. And the Vikings, unfortunately, have kind of fallen off. But J.J. McCarthy looks good all of a sudden. So maybe they'll have a resurgence later on this season.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Slow down,
Here
buddy.
we go.
He's had like two interception games in the last two games. Easy, easy, easy.
Well, people were ready to give up on him all of a sudden after like 3 games or whatever. So at least he's starting to play back and looking back like a starting caliber quarterback. You know what I mean? But the NFC North is still very competitive. That's all I meant to say. The AFC North, on the other hand, man, just a shit show. That's all. That's the only thing that comes to mind when I think it's horrible. It's terrible. Is there a single team or excuse me, well, the Steelers are 6-4. But other than that, is there a team over 500 in that division? I don't believe so.
Hmm. Are the Ravens might be exactly at 500.
I think they're 5-5 now, or 4-5, whatever they are. But it's just it's horrible. Like what what happened? What happened to this division? They had 3 teams make the playoffs just like 2 years ago. The Ravens, the Steelers, and the Bengals all made it, and then the Browns were like 6-10 that year or whatever. They were bad, but they weren't like bad. All of a sudden, they're all bad. What happened? I don't know. But Lamar got hurt. Joe Burrow got hurt again. Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. I mean, I guess it makes sense a little bit, but it's crazy to see as an NFL fan. So, but that's all I got, Tom. Anything else from you?